What's going on, guys? Shakas to all. Today is going to be a little video tutorial on using this little guy, the Mini 4 Pro Active Track, to follow me on a bicycle. So this little Velotric, I don't know what it is. It's kind of cool. I mounted a little something for, come on, focus little guy, for the Osmo Pocket 3 so I can get some good audio, because I can't really do this video without getting good audio. And since I'm using my iPhone with this controller, I couldn't figure out a way, so thankfully I was able to rig my bicycle and it seems super secure. Let me turn this guy around. There we go. Oop, let me face detect, come on. Face detect, there we go. So using the Osmo Pocket 3, and I'll tell you what, just so on a side note, you know, the Osmo Pocket 3 along with the Mini 4 Pro in a little, whoop, you know, keep the Mini 4 Pro in one of flight paths like Aldrin's bags, in a little teeny backpack, carry a few extra batteries. You're pretty much good to go to do anything you want. But this is gonna be a simple little video. I'm in a cemetery right now. Just so you're aware, I've used Active Track a lot personally lately because I was wanting to do the video, as I said, but I couldn't get the audio thing figured out while I'm riding my bike. And to do it safely, I'm gonna go ahead and do it in a cemetery and kind of cruise around, as opposed to going on a bike path where I got to navigate other people and I can't really watch the drone while I'm talking. Just too much distractions for me to feel comfortable. So cemetery it is. And as I said, just so you're aware, I've used it extensively all over bike paths. Of course, you got to keep a visual on it if you're approaching people, but this thing has done extremely well to navigate branches, to navigate all kinds of obstacles. Totally thought it was going to hit a bridge one time, an overpass, didn't. It actually stopped. So of course you have to pay attention and really watch what's going on, but it does do extremely well and it has yet to crash. So with that being said, I probably just effed myself and jinxed myself, but let's go ahead and get on the bicycle. I'm going to pack things up and put this guy on my bicycle mount to use the audio, and I'll do a screen recording and we will go and walk through the best settings to track yourself, in my opinion, on a bicycle with ease. So hold on. Okay, so we'll power on the Mini 4 Pro. Now, of course, we're using a full battery because that's the way to be smart. We don't want to use a half-charged battery. We want to make sure we have enough battery to do what we want, so we don't have to worry about that. One less variable. Can you see me? Okay. So basically, this is just for audio. So Osmo Pocket Creator Combo, keep that with me. Keep Aldrin's little case for the Mini 4 Pro, really nice case. Wish you would make more of these. And I keep the battery hub with the batteries in here, so I got 3 extra batteries. And a lot of times I'll put it in a Ziploc bag just in case it does rain on me while I'm out. I can go ahead and zip lock this guy and it will at least be waterproof and I don't have to freak out. So this is actually a really fun way to get some fun video of yourself while you're riding a bicycle. There we go. So I got little sling bag, Joby little tripod thing, pretty much everything I need to rock some content. So Pocket 3, Mini 4 Pro, that's it. So I am gonna go ahead, put this guy down for a second, probably take off my glasses so I can see, put these guys on my head, get into the app. I don't know why, sometimes lately it doesn't want to connect. I don't know if I got something in my iPhone port. There we go. So start screen recording. Boom, it's saying I need, I'm going to do this firmware update later. Go fly. So you see, this is what we're seeing. Here's the drone. I'm going to make sure we get a home point I think we should. Let me see. We should have one right now. Start this guy.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
Okay. So I'm going to get the drone, just so you know, out in the middle, and then we're going to go and do this tutorial. Let me see if I can turn off this beeping for a second. Okay, but we're going to make sure we want obstacle avoidance on while we're actually doing this. So here we go, cruising. Let's turn this thing around. Do you see the drone? Boo, 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 boo. There it is. So what we're going to want to do is get on our bike, right? So I'm going to get on our bike. We got this thing recording, which it doesn't really matter, the Osmo Pocket. And what I'm going to do is fly the drone out behind me. Let me get this thing turned around. Okay, so what do we do now? So we're shooting 4K 60, right? We got, whoop, hit my Osmo Pocket 3. Shooting 4K 60, I'm shooting auto. That you can do whatever you want with, frame rate wise or auto wise. I'm going to make sure I'm still screen recording. I am. I'm going to make sure obstacle avoidance is on. What else is there? I'm going to go ahead and say update home point. I'm going to make sure it's set to controller. That way it's going to basically use the remote controller location, which is what I'm carrying right now in my hands while I'm riding my bike. So mind you, you should be good riding your bike either no-handed or with something else in your hand, so be competent with that bicycle riding ability. We're going to drag a little box around us and we're going to hit active track. And now I'm keeping it in manual mode. I'm not going to go into auto or parallel because to me they just seem like they didn't work as well. You can let me know in the comments below if you think otherwise. But I'm going to go in the manual and I'm going to simply hit go. So right now it's tracking. It's behind me. I'm going to hit the play button and I'm going to start riding my bicycle, and I'm going to make sure the Osmo Pocket is recording audio. And now we're going to go ahead and do this. So as you see, it's following nicely. It's avoiding those branches. Obstacle avoidance is still going off. And what I can do now is I can lower the drone, but it's going to give me a minimum flight altitude. So I can't go too low with this thing, but I can also, if I want, raise up on the left stick and go high. Not super high, but let's see how high we can go. So here we are. So I'm at 60 feet basically, which is cool. You got a cool perspective, 60 feet up. You can lower it slowly so you can get cinematic kind of shots a little bit by lowering the drone right now and pushing down on the left stick. It's still kind of keeping an eye on me. I'm checking in on it. Whoa! I don't know what happened. It must have lost me. So what I'm going to do right now is stop my bicycle physically. I'm going to hit the stop button and I'm going to reel this guy back in. I'm going to hit that little X and cross out of there. And I'm going to fly the drone again behind me. I'm going to turn it, circle, do a little, drag a little box around me, hit active track, hit go, and we're going to start again. So I'm going to start a new recording, and here we go. So I don't know what it did. Sometimes it seems like it doesn't like when you go too fast. It will kind of lose you a little bit. So what can we do now? I can actually go on the right stick and get this thing out to the left of me, for example. I don't know why it's going so fast. but it's doing its thing so far. Strong environmental interference. I don't know, maybe it's the dead. Kind of weird. Okay, it's going around the tree. You see that? So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this thing behind me again by pushing right on the right stick. And we're just gonna kind of cruise around. And what I can do, see it didn't hit the branches, so that's good. We're gonna cruise around. Let's go high and see what happens a little bit. It is nerve-wracking a little bit, but honestly, part of drone flying is trusting the equipment. And yes, stuff still can happen. Whoa. But so far it didn't. But having DJI Care Refresh is definitely something I would advise for any drone owner. And here we go, cruising. So let me make sure we're still screen recording. We are. What else can we do? So we can essentially control the altitude only to a certain height. Remember, 60 feet. I can push down on the left stick. That's the minimum flight altitude, which if I look back is probably around 10 feet. It says 6.6 feet. Maybe it is 6, but like, yeah, probably it is that, like 7 feet. So let's go ahead and cruise around a little bit more. So we can bring the drone out again to the right. Which is still sketchy sometimes. I don't know why, but trusting again the equipment is pretty key. It definitely seems like it has a little bit of a mind of its own. There it just, oh my God. Holy cow. Wow, that was crazy. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay. See, now this is getting me a little nervous to why it's doing so much. So personally, for my own peace of mind, without pushing it, I'm gonna hit stop like I did before, stop recording, X out of it, and reel it back in. Because there's no need to have this thing doing stuff that I'm not comfortable with or you're not comfortable with. So be very mindful of that and keep checking on it visually, of course. You wanna have visual line of sight on it. So if you see, drawing the bounding box or whatever around me, active track, go, hit record. We have the auto return home point set to the controller. We have obstacle avoidance on. Remember in the settings, safety, brake. And maybe it overrides the brake and does bypass in this mode. That probably is the case. But see, like, I don't know why it's going up and down. It's acting a little funky right now. So let's just cruise a little. Again, we can raise altitude. We can change the gimbal pitch. So I'm pushing to the right on the gimbal. So maybe we can kind of come down and raise the gimbal. I'm gonna slow down a little bit for the drone. And that's kind of an example of using this guy without getting so into it. I just want to show you a really quick way of getting some unique footage while you're on your bicycle that to me is very cool. And you have a lot of creative possibilities by raising the altitude, doing a more overhead shot like this. You know, swinging around, as I said, seems to get a little sketch. So the more conservative thing to do is just keep it low and have it follow behind you, or get above all the obstacles and go very high, or 60 feet high, not very high. So I'm riding no-handed right now, so it's pretty easy for me. And it's not hitting the tree so far. So again, definitely a little bit of anxiety ramping up, when you're doing this, which is why I don't want to be on a bike path with people and dogs and that kind of stuff right now for the tutorial's sake. But you can see we can get some really unique perspectives by using and utilizing active track in manual mode. And I'm going to lower down a little bit. Okay, we're good to go. It's still tracking me. And like, that's a nice shot. Just cruising. Whee! Hello guys, how are you? I'm very competent with riding no-handed. I could ride no-handed all day long. So what can we do? Let's ride out here and see what happens. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And I'll turn around and we'll see what it does and how it does it. This little Osmo Pocket 3 mount on my bike is pretty cool, I have to admit. I did a good MacGyvering. So here we go, turning around. And yeah, not bad. But that gives you an idea of how it's going to maneuver something like that. If you feel something may be not safe, of course, play the conservative route and hit the stop button. We can also hit the pause button, I believe, and it will stop the drone. So, pause button, stop the drone. So know the little outs in case you do get into an area or a situation where you just want to stop it immediately. Either hit that stop below on the bottom of the screen, hello, or hit the actual pause button on the remote controller. So that's kind of it. I mean, here, we'll do one more little run for fun. Gonna get the drone behind me again. Draw a bounding box around me. Hit depress active track. Hit go. It's gonna kind of back up a little bit. And hit record. And now we can cruise around. Doo-doo-doo-doo. And should we try some more advanced stuff? I don't want to be disrespectful cruising around tombstones, but let's see if we can find something. I got my electric pedal assist bike off right now. I try to not be lazy and use it only on occasion. But you see how cool this is? You can get really fun footage just posting this to some music saying, hey, cruise around the bike of the city you live in with some nice relaxing music on a beautiful day like today. And it can be fun little content. So where can we go? So there's a person walking. So maybe I want to raise the drone up altitude-wise to make sure it's out of harm's way. There we go. We know it's not going to hit anyone. How are you? Good. Good. Now we can lower the drone. I really like this perspective. It's really nice. You can wave. That's as close as it's going to get to me. I think we could use the zoom. I don't know how well that's going to look, but I'm on the 2x zoom right now. So you let me know what you guys think of that. So there's some creative options. I'm going to go back. You could even use the 3x zoom, which I'm not going to mess with because it's probably going to look like crap. You see it's tracking me pretty darn well. I don't want to jinx myself. Do-do-do-do-do. And it's fun. If you can ride no-handed, I mean, it's really just a playful way to use your drone and capture some fun footage. So I'm hoping this helps. Hit the subscribe button if it does help you at all get into something that you maybe not have gotten into yet, creatively wise, with your Mini 4 Pro or whatever drone that has active track on it. Like if I just ride through here, what will happen? Oh. Oh no. So it's like stuck between two trees, which is kind of sketchy. It didn't hit anything, I don't think, but it's literally, can you see that? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and backpedal out of here. There's like a foot of pine. I'm gonna depress and get out of obstacle avoidance. It just does seem to do a really good job of not hitting anything. So I guess if you have any peace of mind, trust the technology and know that most likely it's not going to hit something, but it does get you a little nervous. So without further ado, this is essentially all you need with the Mini 4 Pro and a bicycle to get some really creative, fun footage on your bicycle. So hope that helps, guys. Let me know in the comments below, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and aloha, bye.